Wait, hold on. Wait. You're telling me this person is a streamer? This is news to me. So Overwatch to fix characters after activist voice actor demands they challenge beauty standards? What the fuck? I'll be honest with you. When I heard the VA or so for Kazuma Kiryu in the English dub or so, it didn't sound that really great. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it was okay. Like, it was all right, but I don't think his voice fit the character. As someone who enjoys doing VA and stuff like that, and I like to put my all or so when it comes to like voices, right? When it comes to voices specifically and like in characters, maybe I can show you guys something or so after this video. I used to did something pretty fun or so with my audience, but specifically like I don't know, dude. The Yang Yale one was it was like it's not like I'm gonna hate the dude or anything. The problem is his voice just did not fit the character. That's it, you know. That's all I gotta say. It's just his voice did not fit the character. It really like just hearing some of the snippets in general just didn't really give me. It just didn't give me the Kiryu, the Kiryu Kazuma, you know, like actual aura. You know, it would have been better if someone else actually did the VA. But yeah. He did. If he did like a younger version of Kiryu, then that's fine. That's fine. If there was like a younger version of him, that's okay. But like even then, it's still kind of like really didn't really fit it though. Yeah, he wasn't really putting on like a character voice to begin with. You know, usually for me, I like to put on character voices at the end of the day. You know. Some of you guys have not seen me like voice act. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys some stuff or so after this.
Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be running through the drama that is currently surrounding Overwatch and Blizzard. This is a situation that has gotten really messy. There is a discussion. A lot of people are very upset about the design of the character Onron that is going to be introduced
people
into
are
the
upset
game.
At the characters
very
of
shortly.
Overwatch.
You can see.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The only reason why Overwatch is even alive today is because of the Rule 34. That's the only reason why. Honestly, that's just straight up is, you know, that's it. That's the only reason why is because it's alive because of the Rule 34.
A voice actress.
Why would you want to change the character?
For Blizzard came out and made some public statements and made this a very heated situation where she condemned the design of this very problematic character, and she goes off on a rant about beauty standards and characters looking Ozempic chic. She also uses this
Sunny
as an opportunity, and Blizzard joins in to define what a fierce woman looks like, because apparently the design being introduced into Overwatch
what does she look like? Is that what she looks like right now?
Fit that description.
I think she looks fine. I don't know. She looks okay. She's fine. she looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
Now, it's been an interesting week or so for Overwatch. They made a big change. It's no longer Overwatch 2. They have dropped the 2 from Overwatch 2. It's now just Overwatch, which is kind of fitting. Honestly, it's embarrassing.
We saw the shorter show that Dark posted. All I had to do was just roll my eyes when I heard the reason why they dropped the number 2.
As it might be.
That's all. I didn't have to say anything. I just rolled my eyes.
Didn't really deliver anything groundbreaking. Okay, it just seemed like a simple patch update or something like that. And the big promise of PvE never came to Overwatch 2. So now they're overhauling Overwatch, and well, it's paying off so far. It has actually renewed a lot of interest in this game. This is probably the highest in-game player count I've seen for Overwatch in quite some time. So it is definitely working in terms of generating some renewed interest. But, like I said, there's a lot of controversy involving the game's introduction of the character Onron. People are very upset about this design. There's viral posts all over social media. Here's an example.
The official, the hero trailer, and then the fan 3D model. Isn't she supposed to be Asian or something like that? At least from her aestheticness and her outfit and everything, she kind of like gives me like, I don't know, Eastern Asian vibes or something. Is she like? Is that what she is? I don't know.
From the Overwatch
She just kind of gives me that
aestheticness. You can see
aestheticness.
they say, "I'll forever miss the cinematic version of Onron. I've been waiting for her for so long. She looks cool. Her kit looks fun and all. But I'm kind of disappointed she looks like a 15-year-old girl and her face feels way too similar to Kiriko."
The last one is a valid criticism, but the 15-year-old girl is kind of weird, to be honest.
So basically, they're saying she looks too young, too youthful, and they're giving some examples
But that's how Asian girls are at the end of the day. They're supposed to be youthful. They look like they're young, but they're not young.
how they want her fixed, and of course that involves
Like they look like
sharpening
it,
her jaw.
you know?
I mean, are we really surprised by that? But there's also some
It's probably
art
the same
going
character
viral. This
face
one in
syndrome.
particular
That's
got
what
a
it
lot of
is.
attention, saying let the phoenix out, with her breaking through this problematic design. Like, here's the thing about this art and
So
what we're going to see
weird.
from the voice actress. All of this hinges upon the foundation.
Why else Westerners fetishize as Asians? Yeah, I like Asian, like a lot of like dudes in the West or so like fantasize Asian women, you know. That's all I gotta say, you know. Even my I don't know. It's probably because it's part of the family, anyways. But my older brother is into like dark skinned girls and Asian girls, so
that this is a bad design.
I
And
can
it's
see
also
why.
people who have
You know.
worked with Blizzard who are saying this. It seems a bit cruel to do all of this publicly and just absolutely crap all over this original design and the people who created it. But of course, now we get the introduction.
Holy
of
fucking
this voice
demon!
actress,
Jeez! Oh my
Faria.
god, dude! Fucking that fucking face. Jesus Christ! That's a face that not even a mother would love, to be honest. If you're Japanese, Chinese, or Korean, you net a blue-eyed blonde
who obviously voices Onron in Overwatch, and she has had a lot to say.
Why do Asians fantasize about Westerners? Because Westerners are different. Asians fantasize Westerners because of the Hollywood movies specifically. Like the way how romance is in the in like those specific movies and everything like that. You know. Like some actual like Asian women in general, at least in Japan or so, because I've seen like they've asked questions or so to Japanese women what they think about like Western men's in general, and the way how they kind of describe and explain everything. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, so they also fantasize Westerners as well in that specific way. Westerners and Asians are into each other because exotic. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that's a thing itself, so because Hollywood makes Asian men into stereotypes. Yeah, what said, it's mostly Hollywood. Yeah, it's mostly the Hollywood thing, because what they always reference to every single time is the Hollywood movies, specifically the Western guys in general. That's just how it is always. In all the interviews that I saw, specifically when they asked Japanese women what do they think about like Western people or like Western men in general, it just kind of like shows up that they almost have the same kind of like formula in general. That's how they come up with. So
about this character, and she's really like led the charge to get this changed, because she doesn't believe that this character fulfills the sort of mission and vision of brave companies like Blizzard, and that this is insulting to certain beauty standards, and it's not appropriate that she's designed in this way, and she thinks this is a hill worth dying on. And we'll hear her actual comments in a video in just a second, but like, here's a bit of a taste of who we're dealing with here. You can see some replies full of word salad and buzzwords, where where she says, I don't know if it's representative of Chinese culture. I think they specifically are just alt-right incels.
I'm like, don't you have Mei from Overwatch? Like, isn't Mei like a little bit more thicker, you know?
Then down here she says, I feel the same way about anime, referring to like predatory themes that she believes exist there. And then remember the news about certain files coming out in the US, and it's like, oh, this is not exclusive to a single country. It's one that stems from patriarchy and power taken through violent means. Now, that wasn't the only thing she said. She made a video about 3 minutes long. We're going to see about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I urge you to kind of hang in there and listen to the things she has to say, because I think it's pretty fascinating, okay? It's a lot of word salad again, but let's hear what she had to say.
I'm going to be so honest. I'm nervous about this video because I didn't want to not address the elephant in the room.
Why the hell do you got demon eyes? That's probably why you were a demon to begin with.
But I didn't want to step on the devs' toes or speak on their behalf, because it's this tightrope in my mind of trying to honor the community and everyone's criticisms, because I agree, and also give grace to the developers because they're always trying their best in the situation they're in, right? So I wanted to make sure that was there before I celebrated anything myself. So here goes. I got to mourn Anran between the design I had hoped for her and the design we ended up with. Because I think in her comic and the cinematic Elemental Kin, there was a precedent set by it. There was a unspoken promise that said, we're going to challenge the beauty standards plaguing and ransacking media these days, right? The Ozempic chic, the contour your nose.
You want to know something? These people who are saying the Ozempic thing, but then people are still actually using the Ozempic thing. And you want to know something? She's skinny as well. So it's just kind of like, what are we talking about beauty standards here, you know? Especially like the Ozempic thing, because the Ozempic thing is supposed to make you like skinnier, right? Unfortunately, there are side effects of using Ozempics, but you know.
You have no nose, the tiniest nose. And I think because of that precedence, people feel understandably let down.
Yeah.
Overwatch is a trailblazer at challenging that, right? Of trying to break those molds, of trying to...
What are you talking about? Every single female character has been hot, so, you know. What are you talking about? What are you talking? What do you mean challenge? They haven't been challenging shit. You know for a fact that they've released an ugly character, an ugly female character. You know for a damn fact they're gonna start hating. They're not even gonna. That's what kills like the games in general when you have ugly characters. You know. Bro, have you seen Widowmaker's ass? Overwatch, a trailblazer? What? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This girl's delusion. What the hell? This girl's actually Delulu. I don't think she actually plays Overwatch. I really don't think so.
To explore the bounds of what it means to be good, what it looks like to be heroic. And I think the result we got says something else. It says something that leaves a bad taste in our mouths. It's not the bold, optimistic swing that we know Overwatch to make, and it's a look that isn't congruent with her personality, right? She looks like the younger sibling. She looks more docile somehow as the fire hero. She looks more docile than the most docile peacekeeping support in the game. And I've been seeing everyone's redesigns and quietly bookmarking them, but I peacekeeping support in the game. And I've been seeing everyone's redesigns and quietly bookmarking them, but
Right.
I wanted you to hear that this concern is important. This is a hill worth dying on. It's worth speaking on. Because I believe that the more we speak up about the things that truly matter to us, the more we'll see ourselves reflected in the world around us. The more we'll see our values in the world around us, right?
Wow, absolutely.
Okay, ask Faria. Okay, hold up a second. So this is her, right? So she's a Twitch streamer. So this is her Twitch stream. Twitch is Woman Alliance. That explains a lot. That definitely explains quite a lot of things in general. And also another thing too as well. Let me see something here real quick. I see something on her Instagram. Right. She's like totally towards this this whole like Ozempic beauty standards and everything like that. But then she has a woman who's actually beautiful or so. So this is just kind of a fucking huge ass contradiction in general, you know? Like it's just like the most biggest contradiction like she's super skinny, you know, she is well looked in the face. She really does look like the voice of Yote VA. I told you, that's what I'm saying. She looks like the woman or so who voiced the girl from Yote. Rules for thee, not for me. Why not like pretty women? It's funny because like she keeps saying like, oh, you know, they need to challenge the beauty standards, but yet you're dating a really hot woman though. It's like, what are we doing here, you know? This contradiction makes no sense whatsoever. Like it literally makes zero sense. So she's saying that her girl is ugly from what she says. Pretty much, yeah. I guess. It's just so weird because like, oh, you know, they need to challenge the beauty standard, but your woman is also fucking hot too as well. So what the fuck do you mean challenge the beauty standards? What?
Brave, who needs heroes in Overwatch when you have heroes like this in real life tackling the important issues like fixing this very problematic design? So she starts by saying she's addressing the elephant in the room as if this is something that's an elephant in the room. Like, I don't know how this got so big as a controversy, but she talks about not wanting to step on the devs' toes or
pretty much
wanting to give grace to the development team.
But not the good
then
kind,
she goes
though,
out
from
and makes
LOL.
a public statement like this, crapping all over their team. And she said that she was given the ability to do this from Blizzard. So it's not like she's completely popping off. I recognize that, but this feels like you're stepping on the toes of the developers here. But she says that she got to mourn this character. Please, can we not be ridiculous for 1 second? Mourning this character because its design doesn't fit the sort of standard you were expecting? That's crazy. And she says there's an unspoken promise about challenging beauty standards and this Ozempic chic type of designs. What? You mean giving people what they want? Because largely people...
I have a conspiracy theory. I have this conspiracy theory, okay? So this is my conspiracy, right? This is like my specific conspiracy on this shit. I think these specific type of women, right? Number one, right? These women in general, right? At least this one that I'm talking about, this one specifically. Okay, let's just drop the act. Okay, let's be down serious real quick, okay? She's a fairly attractive woman, okay? Fairly attractive woman, right? But then she's saying like the you know, she's like challenging the, you know, they want to challenge the standard of beauty and everything like that. My curiosity is like if they make all these ugly women like the standard of beauty in general, right? Wouldn't that push like it'd be more like it would probably be like more what is it, I guess like more radicalized or so, right? Like the side that like, you know, they prefer the actual beauty like of a woman in general, right? So my curiosity is if like they're trying to like make this a thing, right? They make this a thing, right? they achieve it to some degree, right? But then they get pushback specifically, and they just kind of want to like get these companies down under specifically because they lose money, they lose products, you know, they're not buying their shit because they want to do the standard of this like women thing, like the standard of beauty or so, right? And then all you have at the very end or so is just like these other women or so who are just fairly beautiful, okay? They're just fairly beautiful, right? Compared to like the beauty standards, right? We all know what the beauty standards that they're trying to explain, right? So my curiosity is if they're trying to push this specific agenda to get these companies to go down under, because then that means that people are going to be like going to be more radicalized and not buy their shit, and then the companies are suffering from it specifically because they decided to go with this rhetoric, and they're just kind of like destroying the company inside out, you know, basically trying to make them like push this like weird agenda. I don't know, it's just some weird shit or so where like they're trying to push the whole beauty standard thing, you know, and everything like that, you know, well, quotation marks, their beauty standard thing anyways. We all know for a fact, like, you know, when it comes to like, you know, beauty in general, it's subjective, you know. What doesn't make any sense though is like, why can't the guys be hot but they uglify the women, you know? Is because other women doesn't like seeing other women more beautiful than them. That's the reason why. That has been a thing in genetics for such a long time. That's the thing. That's a thing. That's a thing. They don't like there are some women who are like into other women, yours truly. But like there are other women specifically who don't appreciate, like they just have like just self-jealousy and like they just hate themselves, you know, but they want to bring down those other women or so who are just 10 times more beautiful than them, you know. Other women hate to see pretty women succeed. Exactly. That's the thing, you know. That has always been a thing. That has always been a thing since the dawn of time. Why do you think it's a funny story, because this is like the same comparison or so when I was in VR chat, where some people think I was like, they think I was stealing their man and everything, even though I wasn't even doing anything. I was just kind of hanging out with my friends and everything. But then the guy would come up to me specifically, even though they were hanging out with some other girl in the same like instance, and they think I'm stealing their man. So they would just call me the most ratchet shit ever. So, and that's just by voice, okay? That's just because of my voice in general. And then she just gets upset at me. She doesn't sound like sultry and like a fine wine taste compared to her, you know? So that's why this is the same thing. This is actually like the same thing why they always have to uglify women at the end of the day.
Are okay with designs like that, but in this case people are really upset.
I'm gonna steal your mom every single night
based on the previous content from the franchise. And now they're using this not just to say, oh, this doesn't match up with what I envisioned.
Yep.
No, we're talking about beauty standards that are an unspoken promise from companies like Blizzard, which is crazy. That is a crazy thing. And again, if you don't like the design, if you think it should look different, I think that's fair. I think it's fair. But the reason we're talking about this at all today is because you have someone like this who looks like an activist, putting pressure publicly on the company that hired her to make changes, and she's adding in things that aren't just like, oh, I don't like the design. No, it's saying you guys are violating your promise about upholding these certain types of beauty standards.
I feel like they're just trying to destroy businesses from the inside out or so.
Designs.
I don't know.
Like,
that's
just
just my theory,
mean?
though.
And also, she says the design is not heroic. That's interesting. What does a heroic appearance look like exactly? I don't really get that one. Again, just seems kind of a bit insulting to the dead.
When do you see a fat chick being heroic, you know? Someone explain that to me. Like, I'll give you a rough estimate of like where like what I look like visually. So if you guys know the girl Brady from Nikkei, that's pretty much is where I'm at, you know? like in that same ballpark region. And for myself, I'm just trying to lose weight because I want to feel better. That's about it. Because number one, I want to feel better. I wanna have a little bit more energy for myself, and I just want to look good. So
team, but she also says, the look is not congruent with the theme she envisioned, in that
plus I want to
she's
cosplay.
docile.
That's also something I want to
which
do.
seems kind of, again, insulting to the character. Like, man, they are just dragging this design, and the people made it so much. But she says this is a hill worth dying on, and yeah, but there's just a lot of values and word salad she's bringing up, and well, it works. See, the problem is she is talking to Blizzard. They are the
Problem is I got bad
kings
skin.
of capitulating to these sorts of demands when it's delivered in a way like this. But she was in the replies. You can see people.
I don't know how that was
were not happy.
censored.
What
the hell?
The replies. People saying,
I don't know why
time
that
to
was
delete
censored.
This, you're a voice actor. That's it. They try pandering to the fats and less than 1% that needs mental illnesses everywhere, and that lost them money. The chuds won. Down here you can see Blizzard, when they realized they just hired an online activist to voice their new character. And then she replies saying, "It's gonna be okay, kitten. I promise."
That's so weird.
Okay. Someone else says, "Ew, please don't ask them to change it. Your voice is amazing and I really like her as she is. If she changes, I'll lose my favorite character and cut DPS I've been wanting since launch." And she says, "I believe she can be cute while also being see you next Tuesday-y. I know if they change anything, she'll still be beautiful. Trust."
No.
Yeah, this is like TikTok.
You don't even know. How old is this person? Wait, how old is this person? Can I find out how old is this person? Oh, that explains a lot. That explains everything. Okay. Yeah, that explains everything. Okay. It's a kid at the end of the day, so she's a kid.
Vocabulary.
Every single kid
right
has
here.
been like this so
this person
far.
says, "Please help fix her face. Helping how I can by yapping at the right time to the right people." And then this person says, "I appreciate the are you
Yeah, but I'd say, in my personal opinion, I'm someone who is an amateur, right? As an amateur VA, they need to do their background check on these people. That's what they need to do before they even hire them.
sure we're related" voice line after killing Wu Yang. Thank you so much for that. The first time I heard it, I laughed very hard. It's one of my favorite lines. Haha. Kudos to that individual.
Yeah, no, they should do a background check on VAs, in my personal opinion. If they're gonna be problematic and everything like that, they shouldn't be hired, because that's just a PR nightmare to deal with. 100%, at least for the business side of everything. Because you're gonna hurt them financially if this VA starts talking about nonsense or so that I want to change the character's face and everything like that. So
And down here, you can see, "Thank you for addressing the issue. I'm glad we have you as Onron's voice actress. I love the models you made of her. They were so good. It was killing me that I couldn't say anything or interact, but now I can." You can see she had the full reign to say whatever she wanted, and like I said, Blizzard complied. Blizzard came out and made a statement.
this is only the reason why the JP side of VA, they don't talk about politics or any of this dumb retarded shit, because at the end of the day, no one cares about their opinion. They just come in to voice the characters and they enjoy what they do at the end of the day.
This game director said, "Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, I guess."
Hey everyone, thank you all for the incredible reception to last week's Spotlight event. We're sorting through all the questions, comments, excitement, and feedback that you've all shared, and I wanted to take a moment to address one thing in particular. The team is currently discussing what it will take to make Onron look and feel more like the fierce older sister that we all envision her to be. We're so proud of the work that our team has put into Onron and the rest of the 5 heroes launching in Season 1, and we agree that she can be even better if we get this aspect of her right in game.
Yeah, obviously, again,
If you actually try to change her, you're gonna be losing quite a bit of financial funds on that, to be honest.
and Blizzard just giving people what they demand. Nothing new here. But what's interesting, he says we need to make her fierce. Again, doesn't that seem like a bit demeaning? Like, if someone has...
This is the only reason why I want to be the Donald Trump for VA industry. That's why when I said when I open up my own game studio, I'm opening up a VA studio inside the game studio in general, right? And we'll hire people, but we're gonna go like extensive like interviews and stuff like that, and background checks on them. And if they do become problematic in general, we just get rid of them instantly. So
some sort of a design like that, or looks like that, or connects with a character like that through its design, they're not fierce. Like, what does that even look like? What does being fierce even look like? Like, I don't know. Like, this seems very very harsh and cruel, right? To say because of that design she's not fierce, and also not heroic, as we heard.
it feels like, you know how like back then or so, you had to go over to like LA to you know, to kind of work or so to get like, you know, to get voice acting and everything like that. You have to prove your worth and everything. Now in this day and age, since the internet has become a thing and anyone can do it in their home, anyone can be a voice actor. And then once they get enough traction or so specifically to become a voice actor, they have that mindset or so that they're, you know, that they're all that and everything, you know? Compared to how it was back then specifically, where, you know, you had to prove your worth, but now it's completely, the landscape is completely different, number one. Number two, the grounded VA shit that they do or so on the western side of the hemisphere when it comes to VA in general, for me, it's a laughing stock for me, because I'm not a fan of the grounded VA shit. That's not the VA's fault. That's literally the director's fault. You have to kill it from the source. Is to get rid of some of these directors that have these like these weird mentality mindsets in general, and the way how they run businesses in general. And it's just kind of like, yeah, no, this shit's gotta go, you know? So you just gotta like, you know, just fire them all and just hire some new directors or so that understand the medium in general. So you probably would have more better VAs too as well on top of that.
Well, interesting stuff, but of course the voice actress was happy, saying I love this game. Thank you, devs, for listening. Thank you, Overwatch community, for speaking up. They're gonna make her even hotter and cooler. I just know it. Interesting. At the end of the day, I mean, here's some of the changes people are putting out there. Is it that different? They just pretty much made her nose bigger, as far as I can tell. But I guess this is a hill worth dying on. At the end,
they changed her jawline, they changed her eyes, they changed her nose, they also changed her lip as well. Yeah, she looks kind of gay, not gonna lie. I wouldn't touch this character. You know the funny thing about it specifically? So like I said, right? I only know Overwatch by the Rule 34, right? The most popular characters in the Rule 34 have been always consistent, okay? This has been always a consistent thing in the Overwatch Rule 34. It's D.Va, it's Mercy, it's Widowmaker, who else? It's Mei. It's been Kiriko, Tracer, Juno, and I think I've been seeing a little bit of this one orange hair girl or so. I don't know what her name is, but she's like orange hair and everything, so. And that's basically it. Not Bridget. There's another redhead girl. That's been coming up a little bit in the popularity. It's one of the newer heroes. I don't know her name specifically. But yeah, that's kind of like basically it. Those are the girls. I think my favorite, for me personally, I think my favorite. Well, I still enjoy. Well, for me, I like Diva because she plays video games, so relatability. Um, but I think one of my favorite characters so far, at least because like aesthetically wise, I like her design overall is Juno. I like Juno's aestheticness. She's pretty cool. I like her design overall. That's kind of like basically it. She might be maybe my number one because I think Juno looks pretty cool.
End of the day, this whole thing is not that big of a deal, but it was made into this extremely big deal because this voice actress came out here and was saying all this stuff publicly and basically condemning the company that gave her a paycheck. The reality is, even if they wanted to say she was given permission, what should have happened is if she spoke out like that, you fire her, you give her paycheck, you find someone else to re-record the lines. There's probably like 10 of them, and then you move on because now you've capitulated. You've given people like this what they want because they publicly demanded for it, and it sets.
You never listen to the mob mentality. Never. These people don't understand, really don't understand what gamers want at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to PvP games in general, it's mostly guys that are playing this. It's not even girls that are playing this shit. It's guys that are playing this shit. Especially when you put a hot female character, who's the one that's gonna be playing it? A fucking dude is gonna be playing it. No duh, you know?
The standard. And we're seeing this stuff happen all over the place across the gaming industry and social media as a whole. But anyways, that is the situation involving Overwatch. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Exactly. It's a business type of thing, you know? It's so dumb in my personal opinion. Remember, it's not Blizzard anymore. It's Activision Blizzard, and they just do the current thing. Yeah, at the end of the day, I understand. You know, I don't really give a fuck about Blizzard games. You're never gonna see me play a goddamn Blizzard game ever, to be honest, because I can give two fucking shits about them. So, if they decide to cater for these kinds of people, plus also at the same time, I was never really a huge interested in any of the Blizzard games. So, none of their games, literally, not a single game from Blizzard interests me. I'm just not, like, I just personally don't play that many Western games in general. I think like the only Western game that I think I like mostly played the most was Call of Duty. That's it. I think I played like maybe like 10 or 5 minutes of Skyrim and then I stopped. I played about like what, a couple of hours of that one space game. I forgot what the name of the fuck that thing is called. I forgot what it's called or so. Starlight, whatever it's called. That's not from Blizzard. The second after Crab made me almost quit Genshin Impact because dumb VA is not voicing their characters. But I found out about the JP VA and they're the reason why I still play Genshin today. Yeah, the JP VA is just a lot more. Starfield, yeah, that's the one. Starfield. That's it. Never played Fallout. What other Western game did I even touch? I think most of my games that I played have Spyro. I played Spyro. I remember that. Crash Bandicoot. I thought Rayman was from Ubisoft though. I'm just talking about when I usually say Western or so, I usually say just America in general. So Sly, I used to play Sly Cooper too as well. I played the demo. And like when they had like, you know, when they had concerts or so in the video game stores or so, you can play the demo and everything like that. They usually have the game up or so and you can play it from there. So that's about it. Like I mostly play just Asian games and Eastern Asian games. That's it. I don't really play Western games in general. They just kind of like don't appeal to me. They kind of like lost me after like, you know, the platforming era. You know, the Rayman Legends, you know, the fucking Sly Cooper, the Jak and Daxter, fucking Ratchet and Clank, you know, all of that stuff in general, you know. Yeah, Destiny is another one, but but it's just a shooter though. Western games, Western delivered, Westerner, exactly. That's why the only reason why I just kind of like want to make video games, but I want to make video games for like, for gamers, I'm gonna make hot bitches and hot men at the end of the day, because that's something that I enjoy with an actual good story, actual good story, back it up with good gameplay, back it up with good, story in general. Naughty Dog owes me a Jack and Dexter 4. They're never gonna make you a Jack and Dexter 4, sadly, because they're so busy making remasters of The Last of Us. So, but yeah. Like the thing that I think I enjoy creating or so is storytelling. I love doing storytelling and creating like new worlds in general, I want to suck you guys into a different world or so, and you can have like a fun time to get away from like, your actual real world and have a good time in this, get sucked into this world or so and get to know the characters, and all this other shit. But yeah. Overall, this person's crazy, I'm gonna be honest with you, so. But whatever. Anyways, that's the end of the video. And honestly, personally, they're kind of like bringing wrong people into the VA industry, to be honest. That's why at the end of the day, literally Hispanic VAs are far more superior than literally English VAs, even because we saw some Hispanic VAs and they know exactly how to do their shit. So yeah.